I'm going to be completely honest with you. We've had a very good start to the season. Currently top of the table. We haven't lost at all since that Arsenal loss on the opening day of the season. We're looking good. We're winning games. We're doing well against teams we probably shouldn't be doing well against. And on top of that, I even made a couple of signings that I didn't immediately regret. Good times. How you doing, guys? And welcome to part 3 of this Chelsea beta save here on Football Manager 2023. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we're going to be playing against Leicester City in the Premier League and Bayern Munich in the Champions League. And if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games, please drop the video a like for me and subscribe so you never miss any lovely Football Manager content from this face right here. Since you were last with us, as I mentioned before, we've been very good. We've won most of the games that we played, with a couple of draws smattered in there as well. No losses since that unbeaten game. No losses since that first game of the season. I can't speak. No losses since that first game of the season against Arsenal. It's because I've already recorded this once and I mistakenly said we were unbeaten. I completely forgot about the Arsenal game. But yeah, we've looked really, really good. We have had a tactical change as well. We've gone to a 4-3-3 with a holding midfielder. It suits the players we've got a little bit better, and also defensively, we were getting a lot of people going behind no matter what I did tactically. So the 4-3-3 just allows N'Golo Kante just to kind of have that perimeter just in front of the defence all to himself, and then he can just do a little bit of a run if he wants to as well. But again, looking really good. Big results here as well. Beating Man City, beating Liverpool, especially the Man City one because that was away from home. We're looking good. We're looking sharp. We're also looking sharp in the transfer market. Now, I will admit, the Mendy transfer, complete mistake from me. Should have never made it. However, I think we've recovered a little bit. So we can confirm, before anything else, that Jorginho has left the club. £53 million, £52 million for Real Madrid. We did have an offer on the table of 40 million up front with 60 million in total. We turned that down just to get the money in, to be honest with you. It's only £8 million that we're missing out on. We've made a £2 million profit on him. But we still made a profit on him. And, I mean, he's not had a good time at Real Madrid, so I'm not unhappy about that. But that does mean we've been able to go and fund some more business, and that more business is Marco Asensio. We've brought him in. He's looked good so far. As you can see, he's an assist machine. He's scored a couple of goals. He's looking great. I mean, 9 appearances in the Premier League, 9 goal contributions. 4 appearances in the Champions League, 3 goal contributions. It's mainly because of his corners and his free kicks, but it's good to know that we've got someone who can deliver very, very well. Brought him in for only £25 million. When you consider Mendy cost us like 37, again, it's my fault for signing him, but I'm just pointing it out. And then we decided to ditch the idea of having Kai Havertz as our main striker. We brought in Memphis Depay. Depay's not going to be our permanent striker. Next season, we will be signing someone who's definitely better than him. I've already got my eye on someone already, but I'll be telling you about that when we get to it. We brought him in for £45 million. It was not up front, don't get me wrong. A lot of that is on instalments. And to be honest, he scored 7 in 7 in the Premier League. I mean, if you look at his form page here, how ridiculous is that? There's 3 games he hasn't scored in, and his best games have come off the bench. He's going to be a great backup striker for us next season. It's to the point where he's already a squad player. We agreed him to be a squad player. He's happy with that. I'm happy with that. Delightful. Really, really happy bringing him in. And then the only other transfer there was the confirmation that we have... Oh my God, where are we? The confirmation of Di Lorenzo. He is in at the club. He is here. And he's been all right so far. Be a good backup right back for us next season. He's been okay as a rotation right back this year. I'm waiting for him to get a bit of a moan on because he's not been playing as regularly as he wants to. But to be honest with you, he's not been in the form. But so far, in terms of transfers, I think we're doing pretty well. One thing I do want to do, transfer-wise, is get a new goalkeeper. Because Edouard Mendy, this man, makes me angry. Bearing in mind we're top of the table in the Premier League, he's made 12 appearances, he's conceded 13 goals. I am happy with that. Not at all. He's had 2 clean sheets out of 12. To me, if you're top of the Premier League, that's unacceptable. We are top of the Premier League because of our goal scoring, not because of our defending. And our defending is an issue. But Edouard Mendy has been woeful for us at times. There's times when he's been good. I mean, his last game wasn't too bad. But look at this run. I mean, 6.6. I mean, look at his form even better. 6.6, 6.6, 6.8, 6.7. 6.8 is not too bad. 6.6. Had a good game against Liverpool. I will say that. But 6.4, I mean, there's some games. I wish I'd recorded some of the goals he's let in. Because some of them are a direct result of him not knowing how to be a sweeper keeper, despite the fact that when you click on him, it says that he's a good sweeper keeper. I dispute that fact completely. In fact, it's not a fact, it's a myth. It's a myth that he's a good sweeper keeper. I'm going to calm myself down a little bit. But it's at the point where I'm nearly putting him on goalkeeper. I'm nearly doing that. I'm nearly putting Kepa in the team. Because Kepa, when we've called upon him, it's not been very often. But he's been okay. We brought him on as a substitute against Everton. Because that's how bad Mendy was playing. My goodness. Oh, he's just infuriated me completely. And also, these two clowns in the defence, Thiago Silva and Fofana, they're not really clowns in real life. They're good players. But in the context of FM, they've annoyed me. Thiago Silva just has not been able to buy a good game. The last game is one of like 2 games where he's got a 7 or over. There you go. 7.1 against, ironically, Everton. And a 7 against Newcastle. Every other game is in the 6s. And don't get me wrong, 6.8, 6.9s, they're not too bad, but there's a lot of 6.6s, there's a few 6.4s, there's a 6.3 in there. Oh, God. It's at the point where we've changed him to a central defender, and we've also changed Fofana to a central defender as well, because Fofana is a good defender, he's a great threat at corners, he scored a couple of goals for us already, but my word, I've never seen a player, and I don't know whether it's because he's got runs with ball through centre, I don't think it is. I've never seen a player dwell on the ball as much as he does. He gets the ball and he's like, I don't know what to do. Which is why we've taken him off ball playing defender. He's now a central defender. It's at the point where, if we go on player instructions, take fewer risks. We don't want him taking any risks. We haven't done that with Thiago Silva because Thiago Silva's passing is a little bit better. It's only by 1 rating, to be fair. But it's a little bit better. His vision's the same. I mean, to be fair, I'm tempted to do it with Thiago Silva as well. But the whole point is we don't want them trying to do stupid passes because they just look for the stupid passes, whereas with trying to play it simply, they might just look for a simple pass here and there. But I digress. This is what the tactic is looking like. It's a 4-3-3. It's based on the gegenpress. And it's worked well for us so far. We have had injury concerns, though. I've just moaned about the defence. The reason why Koulibaly hasn't been in is because he has been injured. He's only just coming back to full fitness, so he has just returned. Kovacic, you notice there's not a playmaker. That's because Kovacic got injured, so I had to make do with what I had. But when he comes in, he's typically playing here, but he can also play as the halfback as well. Although Trevor Chalobah, who scored a blinder of a goal in one of the games recently, actually can do the job as halfback pretty well as well. Mason Mount is obviously normally going to be the box-to-box midfielder. Conor Gallagher is doing an admirable job there so far because at the moment, Mason Mount is out with an injury for up to 2 months. It was 3 because that's how long ago this injury happened. Literally almost straight away after the last game that you saw. Absolutely infuriated me. But he is on the road to recovery. 2 months. That will take us up to December. So it'll be like we get a new signing in January. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But we've done really well so far this season. And we are looking pretty shiny. So this is going to be the 11. After all that, we're taking into the game against Leicester in the Premier League. It's going to be Mendy in goal, James, Fofana, Thiago Silva and Cucurella in defence, Kante, Havertz and Gallagher in the midfield with Asensio, Sterling and Memphis Depay up front. A couple of things to mention. Kai Havertz, he's a Mazzala now. I know we played him as a striker and an attacking midfielder. In this system, he's been pretty decent as a Mazzala, so we're keeping him there. And also, there was going to be something else I mentioned, but I can't remember what it was going to be. It's gone out of my head. I'm sure it'll come back to me. But that's the 11. Let's just get into the game and let's just see whether we can get 3 points. Hopefully we can. I'd like to think this team is good enough to do it. But there's been a lot of weird things, like up and down form. Fullbacks, I don't know whether there's an issue with them this year, like there was at the beginning of, I think it was last year's game. But left-backs at the moment, Ben Chilwell and Cucurella are both really struggling. And I don't know whether it's just those players in this system are just really struggling. But at the moment, they can't seem to buy very good games. And it is a bit of a concern for me. But hopefully it is just one of those things. Hopefully they'll both play themselves out of it. At the moment, we're having to rotate between the two because I don't know who the best or worst option is. So it's a little bit frustrating. Memphis Depay's got to be offside there. I mean, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, waiting for the free kick here. Aubameyang has been decent as well, actually, although he's not starting today. If we have a quick nose at him by going down on the bench here, we can't actually because we've got a corner, never mind. But he has chipped in with goals. He has been a starter for us every now and then. He's definitely become our main striker along with Memphis Depay. Those two have got the role between them. Send Broja out on loan so he can get some experience because he wasn't going to get into the team. But next season, I don't think we're going to be having Aubameyang. I think we are going to be sticking with what we've got and signing someone brand new. But 5 goals he scored for us so far in the league. That's pretty good return, actually, for a player of his. Oh, Fofana. He just fell onto the ball and got lucky with a header. There's no way he meant to do that. And Kante. Oh, God, I can't say. Giving the ball away. Jamie Vardy's in. Oh. We've got mistakes like that in us, and that's the thing that I'm really concerned about at the moment. We have got mistakes like that in us. Now, I will say, N'Golo Kante, we were struggling to kind of find what his position was. We played him as a box-to-box. We played him as a ball-winning midfielder. We played him on defence. We played him on support. We couldn't really find what the best thing to do with him was. I'm not convinced the half-back is the right thing to do with him, but it's a role I really like as a defensive midfielder. I tell you what, Raheem Sterling needs a big performance today because he's actually been annoying me recently. But N'Golo Kante, as a halfback, he's been doing all right. He still goes on a bit of a mad run every now and then, but I do feel like he's defending the central defence pretty well. I do feel like he's doing a decent job. Fana's apparently having a good game today. I'm quite happy about that. Sterling, not so much. We're going to just encourage the boys here because, again, it's weird. We're top of the table by a point as it stands. We're playing some good football at times. We're also just very shaky at times as well. And our defence just makes a few mistakes. Fofana is definitely going to be... Thiago Silva just brilliantly there. I was waiting for Thiago to make a mistake there, but he did not. Our defence... Oh, Memphis Depay. I'm never going to finish this point because we keep playing nice football. The players we've got in our defence are good. There's no doubt in my mind that we've got good players. Fofana, for example, is a good player. Next season, Thiago Silva ain't going to be here. Koulibaly might not be here. Trevor Chalobah might be here, but N'Golo Kante is going to be his number 1, and he's going to be number 2 in defensive midfield. I don't think we'll use him as a central defender. Pardon me, as a central defender. But we need to invest in the defence in the summer. 2 things we need to do. At least 1 central defender, maybe 2, and a proper striker. Because at the moment, although Memphis Depay is doing well, I do want to bring someone in who's of another level just to take us to that extra step up. We do definitely want Raheem Sterling to pick things up in this game because he's not been good so far. Right, Asensio whips it in. He's looking for Memphis Depay at the far post. Can't quite find him, and N'Golo Kante is going to get on the end of that. It's a weird one. I don't want to necessarily say that we're just playing well, but we are playing well, but there are mistakes in that. And again, Kai Havertz just gives the ball away. There's a few more like that. And I know they've updated the match engine so defenders are a little bit more powerful in what they do. Thiago Silva. What did Thiago Silva do there? He just came out of his defensive line for no reason. I mean, he does it all right there. Oh, I tell you what. My central defenders are just giving me a bit of a complex at the moment. I'm just convinced that all of them are terrible. They're not, but I'm seeing so many mistakes from them that it's infuriating. Right, Asensio makes it 2, but there's going to be an offside call here. I think it could be offside. It's making it really entertaining for me to play because we're not just winning games. We're kind of winning them, but also making issues for ourselves at the same time. But my word, I'd rather us didn't. Oh, it's disallowed. It's only 1-0. Marco Asensio's goal gets chalked off. It's a shame because it would have been a nice assist for Raheem Sterling. But we're going to just encourage... Well, we're not going to encourage the boys, actually, because we can't, because it's actually not been that long. We've got a lot of highlights. Don't know if anyone else has felt this since the game's come out as well. Feels like on key highlights, there's a lot more highlights. Like, the games take a bit longer to go through, which I do not mind from a playing perspective. But from a video-making perspective, it does feel like there needs to be another set down, but it's just like, no... Basic highlights. I want the highlights that are essential and nothing more. But, I mean, I don't really mind. You know, less is more, but also more is more at times as well. Memphis wins as a corner there. Just hitting it straight at Danny Ward, the goalkeeper. I do think Raheem Sterling is not long for this world at the moment. He's on a 6.4. That's been his average rating for me every time I look at him. There's games where he just picks up right at the very... I mean, Raheem Sterling went for the run there and tried to get on the end of it. I think he forgot he's 5'0". How tall is he, actually? Can I see? No, wouldn't let me get on there. Right, let's kick things off. Let's get another goal, shall we? Right, Thiago Silva looking for options. Gets to Cucurella. Cucurella looking to get it forward. Nope, goes back to Thiago Silva. Into Gallagher now. Gallagher, I tell you what, has really impressed me. He's stepped into the role left by Mason Mount. He's done a really good job. It's not been that noticeable that we're without one of our best players. Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well, although he's still on the transfer list, has been really good. Both when we played as a 4-2-3-1... and had him as the backup attacking midfielder. But also, he's played really well as the backup Mazzala. Now, he picked up a knock as well. A lot of our players have picked up knocks early in the season, but we have managed to... Raheem. Right. Straight away, you're off. Pulisic can come on. I ain't having that. I think he's going to be having a chat of, you need to buck your ideas up, because that was utterly atrocious from Raheem Sterling. I don't even know what that was there. I mean, we're trying... to get him playing well, and it's just not working. Right, we are going to make some changes. I think we're going to have to make them for fitness because we are a bit tired at the moment. We played a lot of football recently. Every week has had 2 games. And again, of course, the World Cup is coming up. So we do have to bear that in mind. I didn't actually put Ben Chilwell on the bench. So we are going to bring Azpilicueta on. And we're going to bring Lorenzo on as well. We're going to just give those guys a bit of a chance. We're also going to bring Koulibaly on to give him a chance as well. Which means we have 1 substitution left. And we'll just give it a few minutes before we make that final one. We might bring on Kovacic in the midfield just for a little bit of time. Let's see if we can get a second goal here, look, lads. Let's see if we can do that. Because I would quite like us to win this game at least 2-0. I think we'd be more than good enough to do it. So let's do it, shall we? Right. Gallagher gets the throw from Azpilicueta. Whips it over to Memphis Depay. Down to Pulisic. Pulisic, Kante, going to go for the shot. And he does. And I tell you what, N'Golo Kante, fair play. That was a nice little goal from N'Golo Kante. Well worked there. Well worked indeed. I'm very happy with that goal. Azpilicueta gets it to Conor Gallagher from the throw-in, returns the favour, then Memphis gets it down to Pulisic, Pulisic out to Kante, so it's an assist for Pulisic and a goal from N'Golo Kante. Unlikely goal, but I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. Right, Memphis with a free kick, goes for the worldie, doesn't really get anywhere near it, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And we are going to make a final substitution. Again, just looking at fitness levels, N'Golo Kante's played a lot of football for us, as has Conor Gallagher. I think we'll take Kante off, and we're going to put Kovacic on. In fact, no, do you know what? We're not going to do that. Oh, God, we're not going to do that either. Kante, where are you? There you are. We're actually going to take off Conor Gallagher and bring Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He can play as the box-to-box as well as a Mazzala. Let's give Loftus-Cheek a bit of football, because he was playing well for us, but again, he had that injury. He's only just come back to full fitness. Let's get him back in the 11, get him playing some football. And let's just see this game out. We've got the 2 goals we want. I'd love a third. I'm not going to moan if we don't get a third, but I would love one. I will say, and I'm touching the wooden table as I say this, Fofana has not made any ridiculous mistakes, other than that one in the first half, which was like a weird bit of Phil Jones defending. Other than that, he's not done any absolute clangers, and he's not just dwelled on the ball like he normally does. So maybe we fixed him with all of the stuff we've done. Oh, that was a nice idea of a ball from Loftus-Cheek there, looking for Memphis Depay. We are looking better in this game. We're looking a little bit more composed and controlled. There's not been as many of the defensive faux pas that we've been making. But there's little things like that. Passes like that are just a bit frustrating. But you do see us every... there's Fofana making a bit of a mistake. However, Koulibaly, to his credit, actually bails him out there, which is nice to see. Right, Havertz looking for Depay. Gets onto Depay. Depay now looking for a goal. Chips it over the keeper. That's a lovely goal from Memphis Depay. And Kai Havertz with the assist as well. It is 3-0. And I can relax a little bit now. It's unlikely they're going to score 3 goals in the last 6 minutes. Last 6 minutes? Last 5 minutes, more like. It's unlikely, but the main thing is we're winning. And we've actually looked a lot better in this game than we have in some of them. Some of the games, it really feels like, although we batter teams in terms of stats, a lot of the games don't necessarily look like we've actually deserved them. This one, it really does feel like we've deserved them. Manchester United, by the way, have been in the relegation zone. They're no longer in the relegation zone, but they're still around 14th. I've just seen that they're drawing against Aston Villa, so it'll be interesting to see how that game ended up going. We'll say happy days to all of them, except you. Absolutely woeful from Raheem Sterling. He has not delivered anything like we thought he would. Aston Villa and Manchester United, yeah, there we go. So you can see United up to 14th. Brighton, Brentford and Nottingham Forest currently in the relegation zone. But again, United, not that long ago, were in there. Only about 2 or 3 games ago. So United are starting to pick up, which is annoying because we're really close to playing them as well. Good times. Arteta sacked by Arsenal. Wow. Where are they in the table at the moment? Arsenal are 12th. Wow. I mean, look at this table, for example. We're top, which is great. And it's not a thing in real life. Manchester City 2nd. Liverpool 3rd. You'd expect those 2 to be near the top. Wolves in 4th. Yeah, and Aston Villa in 5th. I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining at all. Fulham in 7th as well, and Crystal Palace in 8th. Ridiculous scenes, absolutely ridiculous. Right, as mentioned before, we're going to go on to the game against Bayern Munich. It is the home game against Bayern Munich, and we're hopefully going to get a good result. Again, drew against them last time. This is effectively the shootout for who's going to finish top of the group. What should be a really boring 0-0 draw now. And we are back for the game against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. And this is going to be the 11 we are going to be using to hopefully get 3 points against them. But let's be honest, probably get absolutely battered by them. It's Mendy in goal, James, Fofana, Koulibaly and Cucurella in defence, Kante, Havertz and Kovacic in the midfield with Asensio, Pulisic and Memphis Depay up front. We have dropped Raheem Sterling. We've had a chat with him as well. Told him he needs to book his ideas up. He actually agreed. We've also rested Thiago Silva. I mean, a 6.9 is the closest to a good game as he gets, so we thought he deserved a break. Koulibaly's in for his first start in a little while. We have got a few tired players in here, but we're just going to have to deal with it, I think. Not all of them have easy replacements in. I mean, again, it would be Raheem Sterling to come in for Asensio. I'm not risking it at the moment, so we're just going to go with that and see what happens. Hopefully, it will be enough to get through this game, and hopefully, Bayern Munich, as good as they are, just have a bit of an off day. I mean, they had an off day in the last game, and that was at their place. So hopefully at our place, we have a bit of momentum behind us as well. That is the hope. Let's do it, shall we? Let's get into this game, and let's see what we can do. Hopefully, I mean, it's Champions League. I really shouldn't have skipped across everything, because we've just gone past all the Champions League stuff. I've not got the music turned on as well, because I don't know what the deal is with copyright stuff on that. I don't want to risk anything. I've never really had to deal with that before, but you know what the Champions League music sounds like. But it's cool that we've got that. It's also cool that we've got the scoreboard in the corner, and all of the graphics to do with the Champions League look really nice as well. I think they've done a really good job incorporating it into the game, the same way that FIFA did when they had it as well. It all looks very fancy, and, you know, I can understand why it's a headline feature. At the same time, I do think there's other stuff I would have preferred to be in the game before that, but I ain't going to complain with what we've got. What we've got is pretty good so far. I've really enjoyed the game so far. Hopefully you guys have as well, those who've played it. And if you've just been watching videos like mine or other people's, hopefully you've been enjoying it as well. And Koulibaly goes and scores on his full return to the first team. And it's a great effort, and it's 1-0. It's from a corner. Again, we do love a set piece here on Stubo FM, I've got to say. And we've taken advantage of it then. It's another Asensio corner as well. Again, we've signed him. He's not got the best set pieces, but he's got good ones. Now, I do have to say, we were looking originally, when we signed Asensio, we were looking at him, and we were also, Pulisic is in here, but it's offside, we were also looking at James Ward-Prowse, predominantly for set pieces. The problem with James Ward-Prowse is, he's slow, and while he's a good player, he's, what does he do other than set pieces? He's not got the most flair. His passing's good. It's not spectacular, but it's good. His vision's all right. He hasn't actually got a decent long shot on him. He's predominantly just a set-piece merchant in this game, and that's not me saying he's bad in real life. I actually really like him in real life, but there wasn't a lot to his game that really made me look and think he's the guy that we need. I mean, the thing is as well, he was down as a ball-winning midfielder. I mean, he's not playing ahead of N'Golo Kante. Like, I want him playing as well as, but he just didn't really suit what I was looking for. So we ended up going against him, ended up going with Asensio, and then we ended up bringing Memphis in with the spare change that we had as well. Cucurella, by the way, is having a bad time of things at the moment, and I mean, it's a wild shot from Alphonso Davies. We started off this game well, but it has to be said, we are definitely in a competition here. Bayern Munich are actually battering us in terms of shots and stuff like that, but they've given us good as we've got, and we're the ones who went ahead with a set piece, so just say that we're delighted and keep it up. We'll tell Cucurella he needs to step up his game. Well, we'll tell him actually to avoid another yellow card, because that's more important. And we'll tell you need to step your game up. We'll tell Kovacic he needs to step his game up. And we'll tell Fofana and Reece James the same thing. Get to second half, shall we? Let's see whether we can grab a second goal, and at the very least, maintain what we've got. Again, this is effectively the game to decide who tops the group. Both of us have already qualified. Pulisic is having a shocker as well. Absolutely terrible game from him. Asensio as well, going very, very tired. We're going to have to look at those players who were on a very heavy match workload at the end of the last game. I think we're going to have to rotate some of them around, I think we're going to have to. Right, Kovacic is doing okay. I think we're going to move him down into the defensive middle position, and we'll bring on Conor Gallagher. Yeah, we'll bring Conor Gallagher on. Gallagher can come on. We're going to take Pulisic off as well. I'm going to give Raheem Sterling a chance. Tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to change to an inverted winger on attack, because that is his preferred position. I wanted him to be an inside forward, but maybe he doesn't like that. We're also going to bring Ben Chilwell on left back, give him a bit of a chance as well. Reece James has not had a good one as well, so we're actually going to bring on Azpilicueta instead of Di Lorenzo, because Azpilicueta, club legend, let's bring him on for some football in the Champions League as well. And let's see whether those changes can help us maintain what we've got, and again, possibly even add a goal. Kovacic just intercepted really well there from the defensive midfield position. Fofana now, dwelling on the ball a little bit, but nowhere near as badly as he was in between episodes. Right, Raheem Sterling is in now. Raheem Sterling goes and scores after coming off the bench. Maybe the positional changes affected it. Maybe it's just one of those. He was in the right place at the right time, and maybe that kicks on his season. It's Kai Havertz with the assist as well. Gallagher gets the ball here into Havertz. Havertz looks up. Not playing with a playmaker, but Havertz does have moments where he does look like a playmaker. Neuer does get a hand to it, but cannot push it out. And it is Chelsea 2, Bayern Munich 1 here at Stamford Bridge. And we might be topping the group here, which I didn't expect to be saying when the group got drawn. I thought we'd be a solid second, and I was very comfortable with it. But it's looking like you might actually be a realistic possibility. Thought we might get a goal there, and Kovacic was looking like he was setting up for a worldie of a long shot there, but doesn't end up going for it. Right, we've got one more change left. I think we do. Yes, we do. Fitness. Who do we take off? Asensio is shattered, so I'll tell you what. Let's bring Mendy on. Give him some football. Give him some love. It's not his fault that I made a mistake on signing him. It's not his fault, bless him. Let's bring him on, give him some football in the Champions League, and see if he can do something for us. I don't think he's got a goal or assist yet, so I'd love to see him actually get a goal or assist. That'd be lovely. Memphis Depay doing some great pressing now. Mendy now on the ball looking for options, and his pass is just cut out. He's just not at this level, is he? Bless him. Like, in real life, I think actually he's a really good player, but in this game, he's not quite at that point at the moment, is he? Right, Depay gets it out wide to Raheem Sterling. Sterling now looking for options, looking to cut inside on his right foot. Carries on his left, though. Actually does get it in, and it's nearly diverted into the Bayern net by another Bayern player. Are we going to get the cross in? Buendia actually does whip it in. Looking for Memphis Depay, and it's just over. Good work there from Mendy. Great work from Raheem Sterling as well. I need to say Kai Havertz. Great work from Raheem there. I've given him criticism, and he's answered it in this game a little bit. It's one game. It's not even a full game. It's a substitute appearance. But he has answered it a bit. Also, Koulibaly has looked solid as a rock, which is the first time I can say that. He and Fofana have looked pretty good together. Fofana is knackered, though, so we do have to be careful of that. And I think there should be a penalty there, surely. It doesn't really matter, because Memphis Depay scored. I think Raheem Sterling should have won us a penalty there. Didn't get given, but we played advantage, and we've scored. At least that's how I'm looking at it, because I don't want to think about the idea that that did not get given as a penalty. Sterling here. Mazraoui on a yellow card. Just dives in. The referee, no emotion whatsoever from him, but Depay is there. Ben Chilwell gets an assist. He needs a good performance as well, to be fair, so good on Ben Chilwell getting that assist as well. And we're going to see the game out here. 3-0. That's pretty good going for us. Against a team like Bayern Munich, I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. That was a very good win. Very happy with that. And that leaves the group in the Champions League looking like that. 13 points for us, 10 points for Bayern. We've both qualified anyway. Bruges and Sporting, a draw. Neither of them want to go through to the Europa League. They're currently only separated because Club Bruges has conceded less goals. So it's between them on the final day. I think we've still got Club Bruges to play, and Bayern Munich got Sporting Lisbon. So it's going to be down to who batters who the most, I think. We'll probably rotate the team for that because we don't need to be putting our entire first team out there. But another good game for Memphis Depay. So, quick look at the Premier League table before we go. We've already seen the Champions League table that we're in, our Champions League group. So this is the table in the Premier League. We're still 1 point ahead in the Premier League. 1 point ahead of Manchester City and Liverpool, who've both lost more than one game. So we currently are doing very, very well in that regard. They're both drawn 2. We've drawn 3. Memphis Depay is 3rd on the goal scoring charts. Erling Haaland only on 12 after 13. So he's not having the ridiculous season that he is in real life. But Depay's got the best rating in the league at the moment. And also Marco Asensio with the most assists. We are looking very good indeed. Right. When are we going to be back? I should say as well, if I've tripped over some of my words or stumbled on them, I bit my tongue about an hour before I started recording, and it's still not completely there, so I'm still tripping over things, so I do apologise if some of my words are coming out a little bit incorrect. But we are going to come back. We're going to do things a little bit differently. Normally I'd skip past January at this point, but because it's the first time we're on FM23, we're going to come back for the Man United game there and the Tottenham game. So the Carabao Cup 3rd round, and then the game against Spurs just before the World Cup. And then what we'll do when we come back, we'll come back for the January transfer window. I want to come back for that because I actually want to see whether we do end up upgrading the team a little bit in there. We haven't got much money to do it at the moment. In fact, we've got no money to do it at the moment. But maybe, just maybe, we move on a player or two and we see what we can generate with those funds, and we'll see what we can bring in as well. So I think we'll come back for United and Tottenham. That feels like a solid 2 games. I mean, the Spurs game, Chelsea versus Spurs, yes please, let's do some of that. So, I will see you for those games, but until then, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, again, please do leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content from this face right here. I've been Stu, and you guys have been awesome as always. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.